SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
You're listening to Sports Talk Mississippi On Demand, presented by Pearl River Resort. Escape to Choctaw, Mississippi and enjoy world-class gaming, the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, and Geyser Falls Water Park. Escape to Pearl River Resort.
Sports Talk Mississippi is on the air. Sports Talk Mississippi is powered by C Spire. Power your home or business with C Spire Fiber. To learn more, visit supertalk.fm/C Spire. C Spire Fiber powers Super Talk Mississippi. To the junction, in the Grove, and to the top. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. On your radio and in the game, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Well, we crowned a national champion last night. The Big Ten continues its reign of terror on college sports. The gap not only has closed, guys. I hate to tell you, over in the league office in Birmingham, you got to end the "it just means more" campaign. Unless you want to put the word losing at the end of more. It just means more losing, Commissioner Sankey. The Big Ten wins yet another championship. That is, if you're keeping score at home, football, men's and women's basketball, and they possibly have the best baseball team in the country as well. That would be insanity if the Big Ten also wins the baseball national championship, but it is most definitely
very possible. The number one team in the nation is the Big Ten team.
Most definitely possible. I'm Michael Borkey. He's Brian Hadad. We combined are Sports Talk Mississippi, and we are so glad that you guys are with us. We'll talk baseball. You'll hear from both Jeff Lebby and Pete Golding today. Looking forward to hearing from the two head football coaches as Hadad adjusts his camera. Can't quite figure out.
It's going the wrong way.
It'll hit the arrows.
I was trying to hit one arrow, and it was hit the other one.
You fat-fingered it.
It's just a thumb. My thumb.
But we're glad you're with us. The pairings are out for the Masters. We might get into that.
We'll get Tuesday, Michael's Tuesday Masters pick a little later. See if
I don't think I've changed it, though. I don't think so.
We'll talk about that. That's for later.
Although,
do you have the lineup of golfers?
I do.
I'm excited for that.
Although Scotty's press conference was really inspiring today. You should never read into press conferences. I really liked what I heard from the world number one today. Looked a little refreshed after having baby number two, and he's got that dad perspective, and I don't know. Anyway, we're going to talk about all that and more with you. Peter Schrager's mock draft. He was the best at he does two every year. 1 2 weeks away from the draft. Well, I guess we're 3 weeks away from the draft, right? Yeah, 3 weeks. And then one the week of the draft. He was the best last year, had the best mock drafts in terms of accuracy. So we'll look through that and more with you. Busy show, so glad you're here.
We are glad you've joined us here in the Pearl River Resort studios. PearlRiverResort.com is where you're going to book your next weekend stay, where you're going to have a great time at Pearl River Resort because you're going to enjoy championship golf. You're going to enjoy 5-star dining. You're going to enjoy awesome live entertainment and more. And you can enjoy it all at Pearl River Resort, PearlRiverResort.com. C Spire text line is open to you at 601-879-4395. With C Spire, it's easier than ever to get all the devices you want in one move with the Ultimate Connect bundle. Right now, new and current customers can get a free phone, a free watch, a free tablet, plus 100 gigs of data for just $90. That includes the new iPhone 17 and the Samsung Galaxy S26 for free, with a free smartwatch and a free tablet to go with it. What a deal! So don't wait. There's more to see. Visit cspire.com or stop by your local C Spire store today. C Spire, inspired by you. On the read that I have, which I guess was sent to me from someone, it just says visit your local Spire store. I gotta correct.
Do we call it the Spire? No, let's call it the Spire.
I gotta correct that before I. It just says visit spire.com, which I don't know what that is. Don't go to it because I don't know what it is. So
we're gonna find out together. Here we go.
No, you may get fired. Don't do it. It could be something you don't want.
Well, if it's something I don't want, I think it'll be blocked. Gateway timeout error. So, Spire.com, not a thing. I don't think anyway.
I checked the symptoms and it says you have network connectivity disorder.
Good stuff there. But yeah, we got this first text of the show. Do you have an Artemis update for us? Now, that's some athletes. Did you see the video of the one doing squats while they were traveling to the moon? And the caption was,
like
this guy's
burpees or something?
So they use like a resistance band
okay.
to force the gravity. So he was doing squats in zero gravity on the way to the moon, and the caption was, "What's your excuse?" It was like, all right, stop gaslighting me, okay? I exercise every day, all right? Jerks. They had a really cool moment up there.
I walked 3.5 miles today on land, huh? How about that, buddy?
Every interview of theirs, everything that they do, these are, okay, here's a societal thing. We know more about Cardi B than we do these astronauts. And that is such a problem because these people, when you hear them talk, when you read their resumes, they are the most incredible people. The things they've done, I mean, how smart they are. One of them's wife passed away, and they named a crater on the moon after her. And they're all in a group. They're all sitting there crying because of how beautiful I mean, gosh, man, just one of them's Canadian, but the other three just all American type people. I mean, just the best of us up there.
That's
and
the
none
most
of us know their
American
names.
Canadian there is too. So
no kidding. But no, they went the farthest that any human has ever gone in the history of the world as they went around the moon. The images are unbelievable. And as they were going around the moon, they were seeing, I forget like the scientific terminology, but when meteorites and stuff hit the moon, obviously there's an explosion and there's light. I forget what they call it. But as they were going around the moon, they saw 4 or 5 of things hitting the moon and causing that little mini explosion, almost like a firework on the moon. Obviously, that doesn't happen here because we have an atmosphere. No atmosphere really on the moon, and so things don't burn up before they hit the... So yeah, I'm still kind of locked into the moon thing. Sorry, you asked, so there you go.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Also, a pretty sick ad for Nutella, by the way. As they were doing an interview, a big jar of Nutella floated across the screen. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but...
That is incredible. Absolutely incredible that they got that kind of free advertising. Unbelievable.
I mean, what do you think that was worth for Nutella?
Oh, no idea.
By the way, Nutella, awful for you. I love it, though, but it's awful for you. It is so good, but so bad.
Yes, you shouldn't replace peanut butter with Nutella.
Oh, but people do.
Oh, I'm sure they do, and they probably think they're doing okay.
I do. I do sometimes.
Do you ever go the cookie butter route?
Oh, they have Nutella cookies at Costco now. They're
no, cookie butter.
I don't know what cookie butter is.
Uh-oh.
Is my life about to change?
You need to go find some cookie butter. Biscoff.
Oh, okay. I've seen it, I guess, but I've never actually purchased it.
It's good. I'm just telling you that a low-carb pita with a teaspoon of cookie butter and like 10 chocolate chips, that's a less than 100-calorie snack that Brian Hadad has been known to partake of when he wants a little sweet treat.
See, I'm on these. Of course, I bought them at Costco, so they came with 4 bags of them.
Yes.
But they're
Costco
sugar
sells
cookies.
Nutella beignets.
See, I haven't seen those. I need to look harder, though. I avoid the sweet section as best as I can.
Well, it's the problem, yeah.
But somebody says, I love how Borkey is surprised that freaking astronauts are awesome people. True. But I guess what I'm saying is they are the people that we as a society should be, like, we should know everything about. We should look up to. They should be heroes. And instead, and I work in sports, so we do this with athletes all the time, and maybe we shouldn't. I mean, that's a larger problem. But these people should be world famous. You know, not Sabrina Carpenter and Taylor Swift, with all due respect to them. The woman that's up in space right now needs to be who young women are looking up to. The male astronauts that are in space right now need to be who young men are looking up to. You know, not a singer or a football player. It needs to be those people because they're incredible.
I don't really want to bring Hail State Diamond stuff, but this one is too good, Borkey. It's too good. Ace Reese said, quote from Ace Reese, San Antonio Spurs came calling. Los Angeles Lakers threw money in my way, but I'm not leaving Mississippi State baseball. I'm staying here to become a legendary player for this franchise. These team, these fans, they've given me purpose. I'm not chasing money. I'm chasing greatness in the colors that believe in me. Loyalty belongs here.
Hold on. Are there
Look,
comments?
I'm going to tell you. Like if you look at the lineup tonight for the Lakers, Austin Reeves, Marcus Smart, LeBron, and Luka are all out with injury. Call Ace Reese, do something. But
I love the headline: $50 million, keep it! Exclamation point.
why would you not worry about that? He got an $8 million NIL, but he did donate it all to charity.
Exactly.
These guys are really stretching here. I hope at some point people stop.
I do love the link. It's wildgrove.info. And the link's different every time, of course, because it's AI and they're trying to bait you into clicking on something so your company gets ransomware. But
don't do that.
Yeah, never
click on anything on those pages.
Ever.
So,
man. But yeah, we crowned a national champion last night. Did you watch? We'll talk about that when we come back. Look at the baseball slate tonight. We got baseball happening here in the state of Mississippi. We will talk about that. Again, we'll hear from the football coaches as well. Spring practice still going on. Mississippi State soon having their spring game. That's not a game, but it's a day where they're going to scrimmage and fans get to see and all that. It's something, and something is good. So we'll talk about all that. Glad you guys are with us. We'll be right back in the Pearl River Resort studio.
Your next customer is
Talk Mississippi on the SuperTalk app, your local SuperTalk station, and at supertalk.fm.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Louis says we still don't know who the best men's basketball team is because those two teams last night didn't play with the basic rules of basketball being enforced. A beautiful sport has deteriorated into an unwatchable event. To each their own, my friend. Appreciate you being here. I disagree, actually. I liked the fact that they let them play physical basketball last night. Even Dan Hurley, I was surprised by this. Dan Hurley was, all night, because he's a psycho, and he was acting like a psycho on the sideline all night, and especially at the officials. And the free throw discrepancy pretty wide. His team shot 16, and Michigan shot 12 more than his team. And after the game, he was asked about it, and he said, I would sleep well every night if that crew officiated all of our games. Like he liked the way that they called the game, and he kind of said, well, he didn't kind of say, he said, we went out on our shields. That was our best shot. They were just better than us. And for a guy that's a little bit of a nut, that was very interesting to hear him talk like that last night, where it was just, hey, we got beat. Officiating was good. We played our best. No regrets. Just got beat. It was a tough game to watch, I'll be honest with you. There was, what are the offensive numbers? Michigan made 2 3-point shots, 13% from the field, 38% from the field. Not much better for UConn, 31% from the field, 27% from 3. But it was a physical game. I kind of found myself kind of checking out throughout it. I never thought that UConn had a real chance, and the game was close throughout. But it never felt like they were good enough to turn that quick 6-0 run into a 16-2 run and overtake a lead. The better team won last night.
Michigan was the best team in college basketball this year.
Yeah,
from almost start to finish. And Dusty May, I remember when he was at Florida Atlantic. I took them to the Final Four, and could have had his pick of jobs, and went to a Michigan program that wasn't in a great spot at that time. But man, and they're a good example. We talked a little bit about this yesterday, about the portal and how, if you go out and you're active in the portal and you evaluate correctly, you can win every year. You never have to stop winning. You never have to have rebuilding years if you can do things in the portal. It's not like they just went out and got the 5 best guys in the portal. They didn't just go get the top 5 players. They found guys, they evaluated them, they coached them. That's a good coaching job. Yes, the portal played a large role in Michigan's championship, but it certainly was not the only reason, because you couldn't just pick every coach in America, give them that roster, and they go what did they finish? 36-3, something like that.
Michigan went 37-3.
37-3. That's a fantastic season. So Dusty May, really, this is a guy he's got a national title, and he took Florida Atlantic to a Final Four. I think you can say he's an outstanding coach.
There's an alternate universe where Dusty May's the head coach at Ole Miss right now.
I don't want to live in that universe. I would not want to live there at all.
And that alternate universe was
I got enough problems.
Not that far from
I got enough problems
in
this universe. I have enough issues here in this universe. I don't want to go to that universe where my problems include basketball like that. I don't need that.
I keep seeing the sustainable thing. I think people use that word and they don't understand what that word means. Because I saw a lot of that last night. Well, Dusty May's roster building is not sustainable. Why not?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean it's not? They just went 37-3. What do you mean that's not? When you say that word, what do you mean?
You've got to go out in the portal and nail your evaluations every year. Now,
but he can do that.
But yeah, he can do that. I think every coach is capable of it. Is Michigan next year going to win the national title? Probably won't be favored to do it. We can't do it today. We can't do these today. I've seen some people doing these early rankings. Nobody knows what anybody's roster looks like right now.
Yeah, give me a break.
So, I got to know what their roster looks like. But the odds of them winning the national title, I think, are a lot better than the odds of them finishing last in the Big Ten next year because they have a top coach.
Yeah, and he's pretty awesome. The portal did open, so you're seeing entries from your favorite team, regardless of your favorite team. You got guys hitting the portal. Ole Miss has had a handful. State has had a handful. Commerdine, we already know he's coming back to Ole Miss, as is Patton Pinkins. That's a big one for Ole Miss, yeah. Yeah. Apparently, a couple of these jobs, like NC State, wanted to hire his dad to be an assistant on the staff. If they'd have been able to pull that off, that would have been a worrisome result. But that was, as we talked about a while ago, now that the season is over, what do they need to do? I said numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are get Patton Pinkins back on your team. Okay, so that's numbers 1 through 7. So they did that, but a lot of roster turnover. Corey Chess gone, Casilla gone. There's going to be a lot more. Klafke already gone. So Chris Beard, he's got the money to build a competitive roster. And people, what I don't understand, hey, Dad, and I'm sure State fans are doing the same thing. I had a buddy text me who was like, seems like a lot of players. That's not good. I was like, they won 12 regular season games. Yeah. They kind of sucked, man.
It's kind of like, the old Phil Steele. He was like, you have all these returning starters. Like, we went 3-9 last year. Do we really want returning starters from that?
I don't think you need that many returning players on a 12-win team.
If I'm being completely honest, if State was just down to Hubbard and that was it, I'd be like, all right, get 11 more guys. Yeah. They can't be any worse.
So, but State had a handful of guys enter as well. Josh Hubbard, obviously not one of those.
I would imagine that when we get to it, Hubbard will throw his name into the draft again the way he did last year. Yeah. He will still get the same feedback, which is you're an outstanding college basketball player. You're just too short. And he'll be back for another year at Mississippi State. And then we'll see who they are able to keep and put around him going forward. But yeah, today, Delquan Warren already in the portal. Jamarian Davis-Fleming already in the portal. Although there's some hope on the Mississippi State side. And hope is not the right word. There's some confidence on the Mississippi State side that he is just trying to find out his worth, and then he'll work out a deal with Mississippi State. Sergey Makara entered the portal today. Amir Ali entered the portal today. One of the most interesting players from last season. All we ever heard was, he can't play because he's not good enough defensively. And then you just watch State go out there and give 90 points up every game. We're like, what was this guy doing? Actually scoring for the other team?
Yeah,
how much worse defensively could he have possibly been?
Call him the Matador.
The guys they
just
put
lets
out
everybody
there.
go by.
I think he was scoring on goals. I don't know what was going on. So,
wait, did you say on goal or own goal?
It's on goal, isn't it?
I thought it was own. Like, because you scored on your own goal.
On goal. What am I saying? Are we doing this against SERP? What are we saying here?
You're saying on, O-N. And then there's own.
On goal. On goal. Okay, I don't know. On goals. I just say on goals.
Spell it.
O-W-N.
Okay, that's own.
Own goals. I don't like saying own goals, though. That doesn't sound right. Okay. On goals. Maybe it's because I listen to the British guys, and they're always like, on goal. On go, governor. So, whatever. He's scoring for the other team. He's working against us. I don't know. I don't know whatever happened to Amir Ali.
Somebody says, I just want to know if Borkey's entering the portal. Sorry, bud. Although, rolling up and scrolling and seeing your text, you seem like you don't hate me. You're stuck with me. Sorry. No portal entry for me. I ain't going anywhere.
We might just process you.
No, that could,
That might just be like, you know what, we've had enough.
That could happen. Yeah. So there will be a lot of portal news in basketball. We'll tell you when it happens. I mean, these rosters, you need to flip these rosters. I know people don't like the fact that a roster flips, but these two teams were not good enough.
They need new blood. They need new players, right?
With the exception of a couple.
Build around. You mentioned Commerdine and Pinckney. You want to keep those guys for Ole Miss. Obviously, for State, you want to keep Hubbard. You'd like to keep Jamarian Davis Fleming. I think he's a piece you can build around. King Grace is a guy you want to keep at Mississippi State. But everybody else, pack your bags. Off you trot.
And, some people could say, like, you're being callous. Oh, they're college kids. Nope.
The
basketball players are getting more per player than the football players. So
they're making enough money that I don't have any issue telling you that when they're playing bad, I'm going to call them out for it. And when it's time to go, it's time to go.
Yeah. So, yeah, national champion. I watched it. I wasn't super invested, to be honest.
Yeah, it was just on.
I do know that. So you can say on and own. You can.
Okay.
I have been told that host of Mornings with Richard Cross won the SuperTalk in-house bracket pool, of which I did not participate because I forgot to sign up.
Whatever.
But I wouldn't have won anyway because he picked the correct national champion, and he won. I don't know how to feel about that.
Everybody gets lucky every now and then.
Yeah, I guess so. I am more accepting of this than if he would have won the Super Bowl squares.
Yeah.
Because at least there's some ball knowledge that has to go into filling out a bracket. The Super Bowl squares is just luck of the draw. I wouldn't be able to stomach the luck of the draw thing.
Yeah, he's got enough luck in his life. He doesn't need any more.
A bunch of your messages have come in. We'll read some of those when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi in the Pearl River Resort Studio. Stick around.
The best sports talk in the state.
It's the best thing.
Say that again.
We the best on 3. 1, 2, 3. We the best.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back in, Sports Talk Mississippi. So glad you're with us. A bunch of your texts came in, kind of a mixed bag. It is a Tuesday in early April, so we will get that from time to time. Lucas says, with it being Masters Week, it's worth noting that a top 2 finish for Scotty Scheffler this year puts him first all-time in the Masters money list. Shout out Tiger Woods for that. All these players being wealthy beyond measure is a direct result of the existence of Tiger Woods, truly. I mean, the purses is what they call them in the tournament have just gone up and up and up. When you've got...
It's a satchel. It's European.
The now, may it rest in peace, Anderson Farms Championship was given out over $1 million to the winner. I mean, that's all directly attributed back to Tiger Woods. I will say, though, I was watching Live from the Masters last night, which, hey, I don't know if you've ever actually watched a live from, but they set up like a college...
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever watched an episode of Monday Night Raw?
I've seen wrestling before.
Okay. Have you ever watched an episode of Monday Night Raw?
Not that I recall.
All right, then. Same thing.
But they do a setup. They go to the big tournaments, the Players, the 4 Majors, Ryder Cup.
A college game day for golf.
They set up a set with the background and do all that stuff.
Sure.
And they ran a montage of not every single player in the field, not all 91 of them.
Right.
But a few dozen players reacting to the Tiger Woods thing. And I was thinking in that moment, I understand it's a big story and he's a big name. I don't need to hear, like, Jason Day doesn't need to have to talk about this. He's got a tournament. He's going to try to go win. Tiger's not here.
Right.
And it was Jason Day, Harrison, all these guys, Bubba Watson. Let's just hear from all of them and them reacting to Tiger Woods having to go to rehab. And he didn't die. He could have. His own actions could have led to that, but he didn't. He took a private jet to a fancy rehab in Switzerland or wherever he is. We don't need a montage of players reacting to that.
Right.
I thought that was bad form. Let him be over there. Let the guys do their thing now.
Well, that's a problem we have with a lot of sports. I mean, I've talked about it before with college football, right? That even on the first college game day of the year, the new season, and everything is in front of us, they immediately start talking about the playoff. And it's like we got 100+ teams, and they all have their own hopes and aspirations, and everybody has their fans that want to see their team do well. But we're immediately focused on Georgia, Ohio State, and then those guys because why?
Yeah, so. It makes no sense at all. Marty says, just saw that Spieth, Rose, and Koepka are paired. I would follow that group all day. That would be a fun one to follow. That Marty Smith, in his very tight suit, did a walkthrough on the 8th hole with Justin Rose. It was awesome. I mean, they were both mic'd up. I assume it was yesterday. There's no way they were able to turn it around as fast as they did this morning, but where he was standing right next to Rose the whole time, and he played up the 8th hole, and the access was amazing. Really, really good broadcasting. I like Justin Rose a lot. So there's other excellent groups: Rahm, Gotterup, and Oberg, Scheffler, McIntyre, and Woodland, DeChambeau, Fitzpatrick, and Schauffele. Those are all really good. The Masters knows what they're doing in terms of groupings and stuff like that. So, yeah.
That's something I've noticed through the years, how many times we talk about, like, college football, we can't get these top matchups year in or college basketball, but the Masters every year, they're like, how are we going to pair these guys? They have the guy we talk about sometimes, where we've mentioned it, like, with the NCAA tournament for baseball, right? Like, how do you not set it up where if Mississippi State's hosting and Ole Miss is hosting how they're not on the other side of the bracket from one another? It should always be that way, right? Make it happen. The Masters have that guy. They have the guy who's like, okay, the people want to see these guys play against these guys directly. Make it happen. And it just works.
And I mean, you look at these groups, and there's not a single elite player, like one that you want to watch, that has a bad group, like the two other guys aren't interesting. They put all the interesting people together.
So is the Masters like the most fan-friendly sporting event?
Yes.
Like, it isn't in terms of you can't just go to it, right? You can't just buy a ticket and go to the Masters.
The only way you can go is winning the lottery.
Right. But in terms of what their television product and what they do in terms of their website, we talked about the other day about how you could go and search for every shot that's ever been recorded. That's something cool. Like we said, if the SEC had something like that, I would be there all day looking up touchdowns and stuff. It just feels like it's just it understands what it is better than anybody else does. Like there is a pretentiousness level because it's the Super Bowl of golf.
Yeah.
Right? It is the ultimate rich man's playground where they're playing. But they do more for the common fan than the SEC would ever dream of doing.
Yeah, and hey, that lottery, so it's
anybody can enter it. It's just you got to win it.
A good friend of mine, just an average dude in Mississippi, won the Masters, won tickets through the lottery, and we got to go because he just won. His name was drawn out of a hat, and once you get there, everything is cheap. Like even the clothes, the merchandise tent. I've got this hat right here.
Yeah,
that I've been wearing all day. This was a $25 hat.
Well, that's people spend a lot at the merch store because they buy a lot. It's not like they're just buying 3 things and it's $500.
Yeah.
It's reasonably priced. Yeah.
And the access to everything. Like I'm a big fan of Lucas Glover. He lived across the street from one of my best friends. He's from my hometown, so I've always liked him. When he played in the Masters, he doesn't get a lot of TV coverage because he's Lucas Glover.
Right.
But on the Masters website, you can watch every single shot that he hits. All of it.
And Marty says this is what you can do with almost unlimited financial resources. The SEC has that.
The SEC has that. The NFL
SEC
has that.
the
The
money
NBA
to
has
do
that.
these things for their fans to make it easier, you know?
That's why when people bring up the food thing is, because they have so much money. So does Gail Benson. She charges $16 for a beer at her home
Every
games.
NFL team could charge the Masters concession prices if they wanted to.
They could.
They absolutely could.
But they choose not to.
Tomorrow's Thunder and Lightning, spirited debate about pimento cheese sandwiches. So don't miss that.
Shaq Bully says it's all pro sports. The NFL's preseason game, who's going to the Super Bowl? MLB first pitches, who is going to the World Series? It's just dumb. It is more so like that in college football. And don't forget, the NFL's got 32 teams. College football's got 132 teams.
Yeah. And in the NFL, you can make a case that anybody can make the playoffs, right? The Browns, the Jets, they can make the playoffs, right?
They can.
There are teams in college football that can't make the playoffs.
The Jags had a team last year. They ran into the Bills, but the Jags they were good enough to win.
That's true. In college football, that's just not true. Like a good chunk of your teams aren't ever going to sniff the playoff.
But they are.
And there will be some. There will be some that only make it maybe once every 2 decades. But they all have fans, and their fans would like just a touch of lip service every now and then.
And there are interesting teams that have cool traditions, incredible environments that nobody gets to see anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, West Virginia fans singing Country Roads after a victory is so cool. And then they go burn couches in the streets, but that's a different conversation. I have a buddy whose family's from West Virginia, and they would go to a game once a year. He was a West Virginia fan. He didn't go to school there when we went to college, but they said when you'd walk like through the tailgating areas and stuff, like the students would just party at like the student houses, off-campus houses a lot.
Right.
And none of them had furniture in the houses.
It all burned.
Because they burned them all after a win. So did
your buddy ever burn a couch?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
They sold shirts that called the schedule, like it would have the football schedule on the shirt, and it would be Couch Burning Tour 2011.
Oh, my gosh.
But college football is filled with that, and we just don't see that enough anymore. I remember when College Game Day used to do the show and make it about the location. Now it feels like they're just doing a show from somewhere without immersing themselves into the culture of the place now. And maybe I'm just looking at it cynically, but I used to learn things about the place watching College Game Day. They would really make an effort to make it about where they were.
They would do all that kind of stuff, and they don't really do that anymore. It's all very polished and corporate.
Yeah.
From the ceasefire text line here, I've been lucky to go 3 times to the Masters. Easily the best fan experience. You aren't having to search for parking. They direct you right in there, and you don't pay for parking. Concessions are cheap. You aren't getting gouged for money everywhere you turn. The lines are quick and efficient at bathrooms and concessions. It is the best fan experience.
They have people in the bathrooms moving the line along and pointing to open stalls. Hey, that one's open. Come on. Like moving people along to get you in and out of there as fast as possible. And the thing, and Marty said, well, they're not in it to make a profit. Look at what the merch tent makes per hour. They're making a profit. They make a profit on their $5 beers. Somebody also mentions the Falcons. The Falcons, look at their concession prices. They make a killing in concessions, and it's cheap. I don't know why we haven't caught up to that. Gail Benson will never catch up to that. She's going to keep selling the $16 beers, and you're going to like it. And the $30 box of popcorn that has a Saints logo on it, so it's special for some reason. I mean,
it's got chicory in it.
Apparently. Glad you guys are with us, having fun on this Tuesday. We'll be back.
Your next customer is...
Now we have a special surprise for everyone.
Give it to me. More Sports Talk Mississippi right now on Super Talk Mississippi.
Baseball coming up tonight in the state of Mississippi and across the SEC and the country. Full slate of games, a few interesting ones, but we'll start right here. UAB's at Mississippi State. They're 22-10, 7-2 in the AAC. Well, I guess they want to change they don't want to be called the AAC anymore. They want to be called the American.
32 in the RPI. I mean,
Good team.
That's a good baseball team coming to Starkville. And if State can get that win, that'll be a good win for the Bulldogs. Chris Billingsley has kind of taken this role as the midweek opener, right? You know he's not going to get 5 or 6 innings or anything like that, but he's been very good, and he's starting to find his legs a little bit as far as a reliever goes on the weekends as well. So, yeah, good opportunity for Mississippi State. That will be a quality win for them if they can get it, and that will be a quad 2 home win for them. You'll take that. You need to get back on the right side of the ledger after what happened this weekend.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? They got to bounce back. That was an ugly, frustrating weekend, albeit a good team and one of the most explosive offenses in the country that they played. But you got to get back on track. And what a good start this would be. Against a good team, too. It'd be different if it was, a midweek that you played earlier this season where they weren't even competitive with you at all, and you don't even feel good winning sometimes certain midweek games. This isn't that. This won't be Brian O'Connor getting mad at his team's effort after winning 12-0.
They will play with some edge tonight, I would believe.
So we will see there. Alcorn State at Ole Miss. That will be at 6:30. State will be at 6. Alcorn State Ole Miss will be at 6:30. That is one of those games where it's good that they're played.
Yeah,
it helps out these teams. I mean, if you guys want an in-depth preview about this game, I can send you somewhere else. There's nothing to tell you other than you just win and move on.
Mississippi State played Alcorn earlier this year and beat them 19-0. So that's just kind of where you're going to have to be.
You maybe give Foley a rest tonight behind the plate. Maybe play a few guys, Pasella, get him some at-bats, etc. Pitch a lot of guys that don't get a lot of action. Yeah. It's one of those games. If we are back here, I say back here, if we are at Scruggs in Tupelo tomorrow, or Saltillo. Scruggs, Tupelo, Scruggs, Saltillo, we'll take you to the same place. If we're talking about this game at all tomorrow,
something bad happened.
It went really poorly, other than, hey, they won, let's move on. So it's just one of those games.
And then for Southern Mississippi down in Hattiesburg, their only home game of the week. I mean, this game is sandwiched around two road trips for the Golden Eagles. But they'll host UNO, the Privateers, 6 p.m. first pitch. And as Coach Christian Ostrander told us yesterday, Drake Meeks will be on the mound for the Golden Eagles.
So looking forward to that. Around the SEC, here's one to keep an eye on, Ole Miss fans. Missouri State at Missouri. Missouri State right now 9-3 in Conference USA. They have 21 wins already this season, does Missouri State. Chase Parham wrote a really good article outlining that in terms of resume. Hey, Dad, you have the RPI still pulled up. Missouri State's what? They're in their top 15, aren't they?
Yes. Missouri State currently 11th in RPI.
And Ole Miss has a sweep over Missouri State, and that is a sneaky, very helpful series.
You got to figure that.
You got to root for Missouri State, Ole Miss fans.
And even... Look, I think Missouri State will finish this season as a top 25 RPI team. It will be very tough for them to do so. Mm-hmm. But if that's a top 50, you think about the games you schedule at home in February, right? You don't expect to get 3 top 50 wins from those games most of the time.
Not from a Conference USA game.
Right, so that's a huge boost for Ole Miss and their RPI.
Yeah, so root for the Bears over the Tigers tonight. College of Charleston's at South Carolina. College of Charleston used to be good at baseball. They've struggled as a program lately. Jacksonville State at Auburn. Jacksonville State still undefeated in Conference USA play. 12-0 are the Gamecocks. They are at Auburn tonight. Look out, Tigers. Look out. Little Rock's at Arkansas. Eastern Kentucky's at Vanderbilt. Samford, the Birmingham Bulldogs, are at Alabama. A&M's at Texas State. That one could be fun to check out tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if it's close. Florida's at Florida State. The Gators need to bounce back. Florida State, a top 5 team as well, so fun rivalry game there. Bethune-Cookman's at LSU. Bethune-Cookman right now 10-2 in SWAC play. So right now, the favorite to be that conference's representative in the postseason. And then Incarnate Word is at Texas. That is your slate in the SEC. A busy night but only a couple of interesting matchups, one including Mississippi State, though.
Yeah. As midweek games schedules go, this is not the worst one we've seen this year for sure.
I mean, I might be checking out what goes on at the Plains. I might be tuning in to see that one. Missed a couple. Louisville's at Kentucky, so rivalry game there, and then Northern Kentucky's at Tennessee. The Norse.
That's right.
Are at Tennessee. So there you go. That is your baseball slate tonight. Again, we'll be at Scruggs in Tupelo/Saltillo tomorrow. Come by and see us, by the way. If you're in the area, we would love to see you. Last time we were there, we got to meet the Tennessee fan meme guy.
We did.
We got to meet him last time we were there. So if you're in the area, come by and see us tomorrow at Scruggs.
What college football meme guy could show up that would make us happy? I need to think about that. I want to see the LSU dinosaur fan. If he shows up, that'll be awesome.
What a mock draft when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi is back.
This is it.
Super Talk Mississippi.
You know who my hero is? Anyone who has a fantastic-looking lawn. You drive past, you walk past somebody who clearly takes care of the front yard. My hat's off to you. And if you are one of those people, you're a person who takes pride in what your grass looks like, you need to see my friends at Ag Up because they have the mowers and the accessories that you need to make sure your lawn is the best-looking one in the neighborhood. And if you got a big lawn, you got that Richard Cross style lawn, a John Deere 3025E with a loader at $365 a month with 0% financing for 84 months, might be exactly what you're looking for. That's a great deal. And if you've been thinking about upgrading your equipment or getting your first tractor, my friends at Ag Up can make it happen for you. Don't wait too long. Those prices aren't going to stick around. Visit any of the 15 Ag Up locations throughout the state of Mississippi or check them out online at agup.com. Ag Up brings you What's Up on Sports Talk Mississippi, and What's Up is we're about to talk some NFL draft. We've got audio later from Coach Jeff Lebby and Coach Pete Golding to go over. Plus, Michael Borkey has a photo lineup of golfers. I'm going to try to guess them later in the show.
Love it.
I'm excited.
April 23rd through the 25th. Now, you're going to be off next week, right?
Next week. I'll be back
here
for the
draft week.
I'll be here for the draft.
Awesome.
I'm not off the whole week. I'm off Wednesday through Friday, and then I'm off on Monday.
So are we going to hear from Brian O'Connor on that Monday?
Maybe not.
How dare you?
I'll talk to him on Tuesday.
Or I could talk to him.
Well, you could, but
it'd be fine.
I think he actually told me, he's like, I don't like Borkey.
He didn't know who I am.
That was the point. He was
Most of the coaches on the campuses know who we are. He's still too new to know who I am. He knows who you are, obviously.
Yeah.
He didn't know who I am yet.
I'm just saying.
There's no doubt Golding knows who we are. He's been around for a while.
He doesn't know me, I bet.
No. Lebby would know.
Lebby knows me, yeah.
Right, but would know
you?
I think so, because gosh, Hadad, he was at Ole Miss, remember?
Oh, that's true too. Yeah, he was at Ole Miss.
Been around a while. Obviously, the baseball coaches do.
Yeah.
Beard less so than Jan's, but I think both of them by now are familiar.
Yes. Beard has sat down with us.
Yeah.
So he would know you. Jan's knows me. If I was out and about and saw Jan's, he'd be like, "Hey, Brian, how are you doing?"
You know how ridiculous that concept is, that two jokers like us?
That's how sports media works. So,
come on.
So, but what got us on this thing here was the NFL draft.
The NFL draft. Yeah, 2 weeks from Thursday is the first round of the draft. Fernando Mendoza, the number 1 overall pick, and he will be, is not going to spend it. Where is the draft this year? I don't need Pittsburgh, right?
It's in Pittsburgh, correct.
He won't be there. He's going to celebrate it with his family as opposed to going to the draft. I have a feeling Roger Goodell's not really thrilled with that decision.
Yeah.
But he'll have to get over it. He will go number 1 overall. Looking at Peter Schrager from ESPN's mock draft, Mendoza 1, obviously. David Bailey is going to be the first edge off the board, according to most people at this point. He's from Texas Tech, has the Jets taking him at 2. Knowing what the Jets have at quarterback, them not going quarterback at 2 tells you what this draft class is at quarterback. Arvil Reese, the linebacker from Ohio State, Schrager has going 3rd to Arizona. Unfortunately, and this probably wasn't going to happen regardless, I think that's why the Saints went to HN instead of ETN. It's HN. Mm-hmm. Because they knew that Jeremiah Love would not be available at 8. Schrager has him going 4 to the Titans.
Yeah, and you didn't want to have to trade up, so.
The Giants going offensive line help for Jackson Dart Francis. Is it Mwagoa? I believe.
Sure.
Mwagoa?
Yeah, that sounds great.
One of Miami's absolutely awesome offensive tackles, going number 5. Dart needs that help badly. They need offensive line help. That is that would be good for him. Spencer Fano, the tackle/guard from Utah, going to Cleveland at 6. Sonny Styles going to Washington at 7. Remember, he was the guy that dominated the combine, had one of the best combine performances of all time at his size.
Yeah.
And then 8. Now, here we go. Ruben Bain, the edge from Miami, going to the Saints. Here's what Schrager says about that.
Make that happen. Sign it up.
He says New Orleans said farewell to many defensive leaders this offseason as Cam Jordan, Demario Davis, and Alontae Taylor will all likely be somewhere else next season. Cam Jordan obviously still a free agent. Cam Jordan apparently not really thrilled about what the Saints have offered him to return to New Orleans. He wants a loyalty contract, and it's a business after all, and you can't.
I almost wish they'd just give it to him, though.
I know. I don't want to see him in another uniform. He might. There's a chance he takes that deal just to be a Saint forever, etc. But as of now, and he's aging anyway, you need to go edge regardless if you get Cam Jordan back or not. He says, short arms be darned. The powerful and disruptive Bain is viewed as a top 10 worthy prospect after the 9.5 sack season he had this past season. Seems like a good match. Yeah, you think?
It works. Yeah, if I can wake up knowing that Ruben Bain is going to be a New Orleans Saint, I'll be completely content with that. That would be an unbelievable pick at 8.
I mean, a month ago, there's no shot he
we didn't think that
was
going to happen. We thought, and a month ago, Love wasn't going 4th.
Yeah,
they've kind of switched. And if this whole short arm thing is what's getting to him, well,
oh no,
who cares?
Oh no.
It will be interesting to see what happens when they play the Patriots. And you've got Matt Campbell with his short arms against Ruben Bain.
You ever seen Jurassic Park?
Yeah, but I've seen a T-Rex fight before.
There you go.
That's more Chewbacca, but
that would be awesome. Tyson, the wide receiver from Arizona State, going 9 to Kansas City. Don't love that.
Yeah.
If you want to see the Chiefs fall backwards anyway.
The Chiefs need to. They need playmakers.
Somebody says the Saints organization could get confused and sign Cam Jordan, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Who says sign Jordan Cameron?
Jordan Cameron. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I even read that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I want to give Mickey the benefit of the doubt because last year's draft was a hit. I mean, an absolute hit.
Yeah.
Not even just at Chuck. I mean, it
did well.
Across the board, really.
Yeah, they had a good draft last year. No doubt.
So I don't want to be too hard on them, but ugh.
Well, we'll take Ruben Bain.
Delane, the defensive back from LSU, going to Cincinnati at 10. Carnell Tate, the wide receiver from Ohio State, going to Miami at 11.
They traded Jaden Waddle, so they got to get somebody down there.
Dak not getting some help in the first round, according to Peter Schrager. They're going to go Caleb Downs, according to him.
If Caleb Downs is at 12, you cannot pass that up. That's too good. The fact that they've got him falling to 12 is impressive. I would have him going before that. I mean, we talked about earlier the Commanders need defense. I would probably go Downs over Styles, but that's just me.
Definitely have to get him. Mekhi Lemon going to the Rams at 13, the receiver from Southern Cal.
Doesn't even have to go too far from town. Don't have to move that far. He can stay where he is.
Right there. Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end from Oregon, going to Baltimore at 14. Good help for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Jamal McCoy, the defensive back from Tennessee, going to Tampa.
Good player.
Omar Cooper, the first Indiana pick off the board at 16 to the Jets.
Again, by the way, the Jets, 2 first-round picks. Dire need of quarterback. Nope. We will wait till next year.
I'm not being funny. I'm being serious when I ask this. Do you remember Emmanuel McNeil Warren from Toledo? Do you remember that name by chance?
Oh, no, I don't. I know. Was he even on the team 2 years ago? I mean, that's a real concern. Looks like he was. I have no recollection of him, though.
Schrager has him going 18 to Minnesota.
You got me curious what he did against Mississippi State. Let's have a look. Against the Bulldogs, he had a good big game, 10 tackles.
There you go.
So, yeah.
I'm not making fun. I assume you probably erased that game from your memory, and after about the second quarter, stopped paying close attention.
Never mind that. Like, how far do the scouting reports of the non-SEC teams, how long do they stay with me? So,
Monroe Freeling, the offensive tackle from Georgia, going to the Panthers. Mm-hmm. Mesidor from Miami going to the Cowboys at 20.
If the Cowboys get Downs and Mesidor, that's a fantastic first round. They have solidified that defense a lot.
Let's see. Concepcion going to the Browns at 24 from the receiver from A&M. Caden Proctor going to the Bears at 25, the tackle from Alabama. Colton Hood, the defensive back from Tennessee, going to the Chiefs at 29. And that is it for the SEC players in Peter Schrager's mock draft. How about we hear from Jeff Lebby when we come back? Sports Talk Mississippi. Don't go anywhere.
Your next customer.
Sports Talk Mississippi is brought to you by Covington County Hospital in Collins, where your health matters.
You're hearing Sports Talk Mississippi. Super Talk Mississippi.
Jeff Lebby and Pete Golding both met with the media recently. Let's hear a little bit of what both of them had to say. Up first, it is Jeff Lebby. Can't talk today. Professional talker. Can't talk. Sounds like a problem. What's not a problem is the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau. He's the head football coach at Mississippi State, and there's a handful of really intelligent, thoughtful questions mixed in here as well.
Some handsome ones.
Yeah. Here's the head Bulldog, Jeff Lebby.
Well, Coach, second time in the stadium, how do you feel like retention was and execution was today compared to Saturday?
Yeah, I thought there was a lot more back and forth today. Some really good moments for both sides of the ball, so that was a good thing. Created some explosive plays offensively, which we needed, that we did not connect on, last week. And at the same time, defensively found a way down on the goal line to get a couple huge stops. That was really good to see for the defensive side of the ball, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for balance. We're looking for back and forth. We're looking for great physicality and great effort and execution. So I was proud of the guys, their energy today, and then just continuing to play the next play when moments weren't perfect.
Last year when you had Booth and Bothwell, you were going to have that committee there. Now you still have Fluff. Who's going to be that number 2 guy? How is that position battle going?
Collins had a really good spring right now. I'm not ready to just stamp it, but in 9 practices in, this guy's practicing the right way. He has matured immensely and has got a really fun skill set. So proud of who he's becoming. He's got to continue to grow as just still, again, being a young guy. Both freshmen have came in here and worked their butt off. They're both obviously babies, but guys that love to play football and know what it's supposed to look like just from the standpoint of work ethic. And they come from great programs. So again, for us, that's been huge. And then Brinson Williams has come back to us. And so he's been another guy that's added some depth in that room, and happy to have him back.
Robbie?
You talked day one about the offensive line, and you liked what you saw from that group. Now that you've gotten a few weeks into spring, you got them into scrimmage situations, I mean, what's been your thoughts on how they've developed and how, the first five's kind of coming together?
Yeah, I do like where our first five are. Blake has not been practicing here the last couple of days, so trying to get him, healed up and get him back for next Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday as we finish those next 6 practices. But as we're set up right now, I like where our front five are. I like where a couple other guys are from a development standpoint, a retention standpoint, and just knowing that if they'll keep doing what they're doing, they're going to give us a chance to have some good depth. We got to keep coming, and we got a lot of work to do. But as far as those first 5 that walk out there with 1, I feel good about it. I'm ready to feel great about it, but work in progress.
And with that, speaking specifically on the 2 JUCO guys from last year, Shump and Saquon, what kind of step have they taken in the offseason to get in there and play a part this year?
Yeah, both have taken really good steps. Shump is, really separated himself, and a guy that has spent a ton of time, that is playing really clean football, playing with physicality. He's an incredible athlete, and so we knew it was in there. Obviously, it's been really good to see him step into this role and go play the way he's played over the last 9 practices. And again, he's far from perfect. He got a ton of work to do, just like we all do, but I'm really excited about the player that he's becoming.
Colin?
You talked about some pre-snap issues last week. How have you gone about attacking that, and not just that offensive line, but the offense as a whole as it comes together?
We were much cleaner today. We had 1 false start with the 2s, and in comparison to what it was last Saturday, night and day. It was better throughout the week as well. And again, just creating the awareness of, that the easy things need to stay easy. And the pre-snap process for us, both sides of the ball, need to be something that we dominate just to give us a chance as soon as the ball is snapped. So there's been a lot of discussion about that. There's been a lot of stress on that. And I was proud of our guys, really both sides of the ball, are cleaning up the pre-snap issues from last week.
Sam?
How's just the defense progressing about halfway through the spring now and with Coach Arnett?
Yeah, the physicality and the effort and how guys are running to the football has been really good. We're constantly rolling guys to find those best 11, but really find those best 16 to 22. And that's been good for us. I think the good thing is that whether you're a freshman, a transfer, a guy that's been here 3 years, they're all getting the defense for the first time at the same time. And so you can really evaluate these guys on a very similar playing field. And we've had some young guys do some great things. We've had transfers and returners do some great things. I think we're creating some real depth on that side of the ball, which is exciting. But we're nowhere close to these are our 11 guys to go play, which I think is a good thing from a competition standpoint.
Danny?
Coach, Isaac's been a leader for a long time now for you. Just talk about, since he's come back from his injury from last year, coming into the spring, what have you seen from him as a player and a leader?
Yeah, it's been really good having him back on the grass. So he practiced last Saturday. It was really his first real practice of being back as we were rolling into the scrimmage last weekend. So having him back and just his presence, his energy, his physicality, and we need that. We need it in a great way. We all understand who Ike is in between those white lines, and he's continuing to create a voice just like he has, and we're going to need him in a huge way to do that for us this fall.
Steve?
There's an old adage that the best hire an offensive-minded coach makes is a defensive coordinator. They want a guy that's got some autonomy. What's that marriage like now that you guys are on the grass and kind of having that chess match and challenging each other?
No, it's been great. And again, I think I said it last week or day one, but Zach's been awesome. His consistency and who he's been in the building, the amount of time he spends fighting like heck to make it right every single day for his guys, and then just putting the guys in position of success to have the ability to go play free, go play fast, play violent has been great. So there's been a ton of back and forth it'll continue to be that way, and it's been great for us offensively to have those issues created for us in a practice setting and then a scrimmage setting, and to be able to play our way out of it offensively.
Kind of following up on that too, we hadn't talked about him a lot, but Matt Brock was kind of our next chief lieutenant. You got him back in the building too. What's he brought to the team?
Yeah, again, Matt's called defense and had to put it all together and done it and lived it, and so there's a really good experience from that standpoint. He understands these guys inside our locker room who he's coaching every single day, and he does. He's got an unbelievable amount of energy to him and a toughness that is showing up for our guys as we're 9 practices in.
You're one of the most aggressive play callers in college football. You want to go fast. You want to hit big plays. Zach Arnett is one of the most aggressive play callers on the defensive side of the ball. He wants to get after it. Do you feel good about the depth you have on both sides of the ball to be able to play so aggressively on both sides of the ball?
I've stressed nonstop the development of our 2s and our 3s and how big of a deal that's going to be for us. Do I feel great about where we're at today? I wish I did. I don't know if anybody does. We've got a ton of work to do. I know that there are bodies and there's length and there's speed in our locker room that we have not had from a depth standpoint, and that gives us a chance to develop guys that can actually go play winning football, which I am excited about. So I do think we're going to be able to get there. And again, from a roster standpoint, as we're sitting here right now, it is night and day the best roster we've had in the first 3 years. And so there is depth to it. We're thinner at some spots than others, just like everybody. But again, I feel really good about the length and the size and the speed to go develop to be able to get it done.
So that's a good bit of what Jeff Lebby had to say. And yes, we do get the comments again.
I was at this event. I do not recall that sound.
It sounds like there's a technical issue there, but I mean, somebody says, I see Mississippi State's press conference audio is just about as good as their stadium audio. Why in the world is that buzzer going in the background? That's horrible. I don't know why. And I certainly hate to complain because they give us press conference video and audio and all that, and it doesn't cost us a dime. This is a years-long problem, though, from Mississippi State. The audio quality from press conferences is just not good enough.
That was that. Like I said, I was at this event. That noise was not happening in the background, so I don't know what's going on there. But it's a shame because one of my handsome questions was I still had one more left to come.
That is a shame.
You can't hear it on today's Thunder and Lightning podcast because we talked about the question that I asked.
Well, what was the question?
It was about cornerbacks. It's basically the same question I asked him about running backs. I said, hey, you've got Kelly Jones. What's the competition been like for that number 2 spot? And he went into some pretty good detail. I guess about a minute of likes the bodies he has in that room. Quentin Taylor back at practice. Grimsley, the corner from Florida, is getting some reps there. He likes the group that he has there. So it helps that you have an All-American candidate on the other side of that, though. It makes everything a little bit easier, I would think.
601-879-4395, the C Spire text line. We'll be back.
From this is Sports Talk Mississippi.
Boom! Are you ready for some football?
On SuperTalk Mississippi.
Reminds me of the movie Grind. You ball knowers out there, if you know the movie Grind, I need you to text the C Spire text line, 601-879-4395.
That's not one I'm familiar with.
It is a classic skateboarding movie. Oh, man, is it good.
Okay.
It's so stupid, but it's so good. If you have seen that movie, I need to know if you're like me. I actually watched it a couple of weeks ago. It showed up on Amazon Prime Video or something like that. And I watched it all the way through, and I loved it. It brought me back to like late middle school. Because we had a skateboarding phase.
Yeah.
Are you looking it up right now?
No.
Oh, I thought that's what I thought you were looking at to see if you recognized.
I know that I've never heard this movie.
Michael in Starkville, yes. Sweet Lou, yeah.
Adam Brody is the Bam Margera's in it, though. Okay.
Yeah, Bam's in it. He's a jerk in it.
The girl from House.
Yeah, she's the love interest of the main character.
All right.
But she's Bam's girlfriend,
Tom
and then she breaks
Green,
up with
Randy Quaid. What a movie! Oh, it's got Shooter McGavin in it.
Yeah.
Bobcat Goldthwait. Maybe I should have watched this movie.
You should have watched that movie.
That's funny.
Josh has seen it. Oh my gosh, I love this. Not many of you, but I love that some of you have.
That's hilarious.
Classic movie. But yeah, they take a van across the country to try to become pro skateboarders. And they play this song in the van, and they swing the door open to the van during the guitar solo, and they're like playing air guitar at this old lady driving on the highway next to him, and she gets mad and flips him the bird.
Oh.
So that's where that song comes from. But yeah,
I don't know. I just don't know it.
I can't believe you haven't seen it. I think you would like it. I think you would laugh
I might,
at it.
but I don't know a lot about it.
Hey, Dad, there are a lot of great cuisines out there. Like, if just off the top of your head, like great countries with great cuisines, just fire them away. Like Mexico, great.
Mexico, Italy,
yeah,
China, Lebanon. So you don't know enough about that one, but that's a good one.
I notice you're not saying Ireland.
I'm not much for the potato.
Rory McIlroy did his press conference at the Masters today. A lot of reflection and stuff, and was talking about the Champions Dinner. And this quote's going to make you laugh, hey, Dad. So he was talking about why he picked the menu and stuff like that, and he added this in there.
But also wanted it to be something that all the other people in that room would enjoy as well. People keep asking me, why didn't you go more Irish? And I said, because I want to enjoy the dinner as well.
I wonder if that Irish guy on TikTok and Instagram will have anything to say about that. Follow me. I'm delicious.
I wanted to enjoy the dinner, too. So
Irish food, it's a lot of boiled meat. I don't think that's, yeah.
Honestly, I don't know anything about Irish other than potatoes, I guess.
Potatoes, corned beef, and cabbage.
I kind of like both of those things, though.
All
three of those things.
Yeah, but when you can have anything, is that what you want?
That still sounds pretty good.
I think if you have a 6-course meal in Ireland, Guinness is 4 of the courses.
Hot take, I kind of don't like it.
Guinness?
It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan.
But the people that are like...
there are people who are just so locked into Guinness. Like, it's like it's kind of like... I'm trying to think. Like, it's kind of like Starbucks in a way. Like, just make coffee at home. There are plenty of beers you can buy. Why is this one so special? It's fine.
Yeah, and there's good coffee.
Yeah, there's good coffee everywhere.
And there's good beer. Yeah. But I'm with you. Like
anything better than Bubba Watson's Masters dinner.
Well, that was like a toddler's sad school lunch, is what that was. He was wearing one of the most disgusting shirts you've ever seen today.
Bubba Watson?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Horrible.
Today?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it here. We'll do a live reaction.
And I guess his swing coach had an inverted version of it that was even worse.
Is this? No, it's from January. Let me see if I can.
You may not be able to find it, but
yeah, I'm not seeing it, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, not good. Not good at all. But that's how over-consumed I am with Masters content is that kind of stuff is what I've also analyzed. I can't wait to pull up some of these names for you.
Yeah, anyone that drinks Guinness in Mississippi when it's above 70 degrees outside, it's a psychopath. I agree. Beer should be cold and refreshing.
There are some good like winter stouts and stuff like that, but people drink those things all year. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, I'm not a big stout guy. No, just not. I'd rather just eat.
When it's super cold outside,
I don't want to have to chew my beer.
Yeah,
I don't want that. Yeah, you see those oatmeal stouts and stuff, and I'm just like, I can't do it. I'll have a porter every now and then, but
you know what I like? Sours.
So it's crazy how much overlap we're getting today between this show and my podcast for tomorrow, because we got a beer question on the rumblings, and we were talking about sours, and sours and IPAs are kind of the same thing. I don't like making this particular face. I don't,
Yeah.
Like, I can't get into the sour. I like fruit beers. I'll have, there used to be a beer.
There's a brewery that makes a strawberry beer that is unbelievable.
There used to be a beer
that
I drank a lot. I'm going to give them a shout out because I don't think they make it anymore. I can't find it. It was called Pete's Wicked Strawberry Ale. Delicious. Used to drink them all the time. I like a Sam Adams Cherry Wheat. I like an Abita Purple Haze. We'll give some free pubs.
So that's the brewery I was thinking of. Their strawberry is outstanding.
Abita Strawberry I haven't had. I've had the
awesome.
Purple Haze is a raspberry flavor.
They have a blueberry out too now, by the way. I had that
and of course, you have Sweetwater Blue. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of good fruit-flavored beers out there. But I can't do the sours. I just can't get into them.
Somebody says there's a brewery that makes a cotton candy beer, surprisingly pretty good.
I would be interested. I would try it. I would try it.
100% I would try it. I disappointed the heck out of the 6-year-old.
Why?
Because when we were at Costco, they had cotton candy grapes. And I mean, he's in kindergarten now, so he's like learning how to read and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, cotton candy? Dad, these taste like cotton candy? I was like, yeah, buddy. Yeah, they do.
Okay.
And no.
You got to meet some fruit, though, didn't you?
Yeah, well, a bite of it until he looked at me and was like, you betrayed me.
Why have you betrayed me, Father?
The face of disappointment. I mean, I've never disappointed him more than I did when he thought that the grapes are going to taste like cotton candy.
The schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
Oh, man. Somebody says, I think the Masters people made Bubba change his clothes. They made Jason Day change his. The bird hunting stuff. Or not bird hunting, bird watching stuff. They made him change. But
I don't think I need to have an Abita strawberry. That sounds delicious.
They are. They're good.
Just need to have a day drinking day. I haven't had one of those.
That's what you got to do as an adult now. We were talking about this weekend.
I got this next week off, and I'll be down in Tampa for all those days. I will definitely just find a brewery and sit at it for about 7 or 8 hours. Make a complete jerk of myself, probably.
Oh, it's best when the sun's up. You have a responsible amount, and then you still get to go to bed by 9:45.
Got my QR codes today for the event. I'm very excited.
All right, so tell the people what you're doing.
I'm going to the Premier League Fan Fest in Tampa.
So there are no games or players from the teams.
No, they're all playing in England. So it's basically like a giant watch party.
So you're flying to Tampa to watch games that are being played
elsewhere
in Europe.
Yeah, it's a watch party. Yeah, but it's also a party.
It's party.
Yeah. So they'll have, you get to watch the game with all the fans of the team that you cheer for. And I've got a big one. It's Chelsea-Manchester United. So that should be a real situation. They've got big, I know you don't really care, but like there are there are some big games next weekend that they're going to have on. You have Man City Arsenal, that's first and second, playing each other. Chelsea Man United, huge game. You got Liverpool Everton, one of the most bitter rivalries in all of the Premier League, is playing each other. So there'll be some games that I want to see how their fans look. Yeah, I want to watch the Liverpool and Everton fans just absolutely dog cussing each other. I want to see what that's like on an Egg Bowl scale of vitriol.
Why is it in Tampa? Like, what's in Tampa?
They do it every year in different cities. Like earlier, they did one in the fall in Kansas City. They just go to different areas and have these big things.
What's the venue? Is it in the Trop?
It's called the No, it's an outdoor event. It's the Armature Works or something. I don't know. It's some big area downtown. When I went to in Nashville a couple years ago was south of Boardwalk. There's like a big park there, and they just set up all these big screen TVs and booths, and they're selling beer and food and everything. It's fun.
You got to scout Tampa out for SEC Media Days.
Well, I mean, I've got my buddy Bob Carskadden, who I'm staying with down there. He's already scouted everything. I've put my life into his hands, and he'll tell us where to go.
Sports Talk Mississippi. We'll be back.
Your next
Sports Talk Mississippi, your new home for exclusive sports coverage here in the Magnolia State.
Let me put it to you this way.
Right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Borkey and Hadad with you. Were you a big fan of Chicago?
Not really. I mean, I liked some of their stuff. I'm more of an 80s Chicago guy. I want to hear a little Hard to Say I'm Sorry. You're my inspiration.
I see. Okay.
But that being said, that's a good song.
It is a good song. Sports Talk Mississippi. Again, I'm Michael Borkey. He's Brian Hadad. So glad that you guys are with us. Somebody's asking, simply put, who do y'all think are the favorites at the Masters this year? Are you ready for the biggest cop-out answer of all time? You ready?
The favorites.
Scotty and Rory.
Yeah.
But seriously, I mean, those are. The Rory wins a year ago. Now he's had back issues, but those seem to be okay. Scotty, two-time winner, best player in the world. He's had round one struggles as of late. He hasn't gotten out of the gate well. But Scotty, the betting favorite. Bryson DeChambeau's up there as well. His wedge game is an issue. Like on these live courses and stuff, he can just...
Obviously, yeah.
He can bomb and gouge them.
Right.
But Augusta, you can't do that. It doesn't matter how far you hit it because you still have to be so precise with the short clubs, and he doesn't have any short clubs. They're all the same length. The gap between his clubs is sometimes 25 to 30 yards on standard shots, and
averages about 37.2.
He has a hard time being as dialed with his wedges, and so if he's going to hit big tee shots and have 130 into the green, that could be 15 yards in between clubs, and that's a problem for him. He's going to be up there, but he's not precise enough to win there quite yet. Maybe he's figured that out, but that's an issue for him. Rahm's been playing well on live. How much of that actually matters? Because again, courses, fields, not good, but he's been really good lately there. Xander's the most boring favorite of all time, but he's up there also. He's so boring. Great player, but gosh, he can bore you to tears. I think Justin Rose is going to compete again in terms of betting potential. He's plus 2,700. There's great value there. Patrick Reed's plus 4,000. There's great value there.
Yeah, but you have to live with yourself.
Yeah. Chris Gotterup is plus 4,500. There's great value there too. And then, I mean, hey, Dad, if you really want to put some money on, Danny Willett, he's plus 100,000.
He won it 1 year, didn't he?
That's why he's in the field. The only reason why he's in the field. He won when Spieth collapsed on the back nine, hit 2 balls in the water on 12. Spieth had no business losing, and Danny Willett was just kind of the guy that got to accept the green jacket after Spieth vomited all over himself on the second nine. It's not the back nine there, it's the second nine.
Second nine, yeah. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
All of the patrons know that.
Somebody says Tommy Fleetwood is my pick. Another one, I'm pulling for Tommy Fleetwood.
Okay.
Somebody says, I guess y'all can call me stupid. I don't understand how to bet on this thing. What is the plus deal? You're not stupid. You're not a gambler. That's okay. You're smarter with your money. So essentially what that means, we'll use a round number. So Scotty Scheffler is plus 500 to win the Masters. That means if you bet $100 on Scotty to win the Masters, you will win $500.
So the betting favorite is plus 500?
Yes. I mean, because
crazy.
That's golf, man.
And I get it.
That is.
Still, yeah.
So yeah, Bryson DeChambeau is plus 1,000. $100 on DeChambeau to win. If he wins, you make $1,000. So that's how that works. Somebody says, I'm having a big Masters party at my house Sunday. Any decor, food/drink selections besides the obvious that I should serve? Ooh. The sweets selection. I mean, you got to do like caramel corn and stuff like that. That is something when it comes to Masters food that's not talked about enough. Mm-hmm. The cookies and the ice cream, the peach ice cream sandwiches, that kind of stuff. That's where. Don't worry about pimento cheese. People aren't really going to eat that much, other than the novelty of it and the good kind's expensive. Go sweets. Lots of sweets. And then look up the azalea cocktail recipe and make some of those.
Can you get a crow's nest anywhere outside of Augusta?
So I don't know if she was telling me the truth or not. But we did ask when we were there a couple of years ago, a girl that was working there, what the crow's nest actually is. Mm-hmm. She told us it was Blue Moon.
Ah.
But I don't know if she was just a girl that worked there. So I don't know if she has like the inside info.
Also, you did say caramel again.
That's fine.
It actually is.
That's fine. But that's what she told us, is that the crow's nest was just Blue Moon.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's true or not. I do know that you already heard from Jeff Lebby. You're going to hear from Pete Golding. He went 22 minutes. We're not going to play all 22 minutes, but...
Again, we could just call it a day.
But we will bring you what Pete Golding had to say after practice today for your college football fix after the news.
This is a place for crazy people.
If it's sports in Mississippi, you'll hear about it here. Sports Talk Mississippi on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Michael Borkey, Brian Hadad, Sports Talk Mississippi, hour 3 on this Tuesday. So glad you guys are with us. You know what time it is.
It's time for the College Football Fix. The College Football Fix is driven by your Mississippi Ford dealers. Built Ford Tough. That is the best-selling truck in America, the Ford F-150. If you're looking for a new truck, there is literally only one place you should be looking. That's your Mississippi Ford dealers. See them today. Thank you for your attention to this match.
Heard from Jeff Lebby a little bit earlier. Pete Golding off the practice field a little earlier today. Had 22 minutes worth of back and forth with the media. We will not give you all 22 minutes, but here's some of what the head coach at Ole Miss had to say on the Farm Bureau Guest Line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau.
Coach Brian Brown talked about challenging some of the defensive guys to be more vocal leaders. Is there anyone else kind of on the offensive side or maybe even special teams that you and the coaching staff have challenged to be more leaders this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously leadership, you can view it a lot of different ways. And so, number one, we went by example guys first, because guys start opening their mouth and they don't do things the right way. That can go the other direction quick. So I think there is a comfort zone at first of making sure we know what to do, know the expectation, right, know the culture that we want to create. And then I think some guys are natural at it and some guys aren't. And I think it's really big from a coaching standpoint of recognize who has the ability to affect the people around them from a vocal standpoint and who doesn't. And for some of those positions, I think some of them will have to be coach-led this year, right, based on the amount of new guys that we have and all that and the development that we'll continue to nurture them throughout the process and educate them and try to help them. But we're not going to push that on somebody too early, in my opinion. I think that's something that naturally happens. I think that's the best thing, how the summers are set up now, right, from an OTA standpoint where the players have to run it. I think a lot of that leadership ability really comes in June and July, right, when the coaches aren't out there. Then our guys understand the system. They know the expectation. And to me, that June and July is really big from a leadership standpoint. But the guys that have returned, right, that know the systems, that know the expectations, and know the standard, absolutely. The guys that have the availability, all right, and to be able to affect the people around them, we're going to make sure that, we try to push them along and educate them on how to do it. But I think that's natural for some guys and it's not for others. So the ones that can, we definitely will. And the ones that can't, we'll have to make sure from a coaching perspective, we're giving them the leadership that they need.
I feel like things probably feel pretty settled on the interior offensive line, but those tackle spots, how do you see that playing out?
Obviously time will tell. I think just in day 4 right now. So brought in some experience there. Obviously from an SEC standpoint, having played in some games, still young, still really raw. I think we're a long ways from having, that solidified by any means. Some guys that played the position last year, right, in some spot roles that I think have the athletic ability to do it. But obviously, as we all know in this league, you better be pretty good at tackle. If not, you got to protect them. So I think that's a work in progress, big part of this spring and the summer, and it's going to develop, in my opinion, all the way through fall camp. But I think we do have some flexibility with some guys to be able to move some guys around, right, based on the maturity and the growth of some of these other guys.
Hey, Pete, as far as the freshman mid-year enrollees, Emmanuel Faulkner looks like he's gained some weight, looks really big, looks the part already. Landon Barnes, same thing too. What kind of guys added weight and really put on some good things that might, put them in an advanced place physically, at least if they're not there developmentally, but who really did some work?
Yeah, obviously our focus was on our entire team, but I think that, the biggest improvements come from them 18, 19-year-old kids, right, that haven't been in a real nutrition program, hadn't really been in a real strength and conditioning program. So I think they take the biggest steps, the fastest. But I think Paul and them have done an unbelievable job, which was the whole point of phase 1 was the strength foundation in the weight room to be able to get and add bulk and explosion and all those things that we need. But I think Dorian Barney's another kid at corner, right, that came in size speed-wise but was really frail. I think he's put on some really, really good weight. Obviously, Landon had a good structure coming in, right, broad shoulders, he's big hips, got a big butt, but I think he's put on the right type of weight, right, to be really physical at the point of attack. And then I think some of the younger linemen coming in, it's like, where is the weight, right? Getting it in the right places and reforming that body shape and all that. But I think at several different positions, it's really changing. I think Ant Davis is another one to me, that came in about 207 pounds. It's about 220 right now. That looks different, and you can start seeing their confidence. With all those guys, that young players, okay, how much weight can we add and not lose a step? That's different for everybody, right? So we're not coming in here and we're putting, hey, you've got to be at this weight to play this position. And it's hey, how heavy can we get to withstand the season and not lose a step? But Paul and them done a really good job. But I would say Dorian Barney, for sure, body type looks different. Can see it transfer to the field already. Ant Davis, I think, looks different than he did in January. He's showing up on the field. Landon, who everybody had high expectations for anyway. But a lot of that, to me, is the wiring of those guys. It's just they're going to go in there and whatever they do, they're going to work their ass off. So those guys that buy into nutrition and then buy into the strength and conditioning component, buy into sleeping and hydrating, all the things that matter to be able to transform your body, those are the ones that you see at the fastest. But I think that group definitely looks different than when it first got here. I think it's the majority of them, to be honest with you.
Pete, I was kind of curious, big picture, with the way that the sport has changed over the years with portal and when you put teams together, would you almost rather do spring differently and have the OTAs you mentioned where you guys can be out there kind of NFL style as you get ready for the season?
Yeah, I would just love, all right, here are your number of days, but don't put it in a window, right? From, hey, I put a helmet on, and now from that day I have 34 days to get them all in, to where let us use that based on our program, and whether that goes into June and July, who cares, right? The number's not more, right? It's the same amount of number, but we could structure it differently to the progression, right? Could be a little slower for some of these younger guys and all those. So, and I think that's a model that's going to get there. Does that make sense? It's already, hey, here's your 8 hours a week. All right, here's your 8 hours a week in the summer. And then now here's just this one little window. I think you'll see the window spread, right? And use it from the spring and the summer standpoint, how you want to. And you progress and put on helmets and pads as you want to do that. To me, that's always been the struggle. You want to have spring early, and then you go all this time until August, and then don't touch a helmet, don't touch a pad, to where it should be a progression up to that, right? And let's, be in the right mindset, right, when we show up for camp, instead of now every time you're starting a new cycle, here's a 3-day acclimatization period and all this. Like, let's build to it as we get to it. So I think there's a model in place that will get to vote, but I think you'll probably see that sooner than later.
Moving from defensive coordinator to head coach, you obviously worked more with the offense throughout the playoffs, but going into your first full season as a head coach, how has your offseason kind of changed with more involvement towards the offensive side of the ball?
Obviously we hired JDB for a reason, and it's to run the offense. I think when you're a coordinator over there, depending upon where you work, you don't love when the head coach walks in and like, hey man, we're going to do this, this, and this. But I do think it's really important from an evaluation standpoint of our pieces and making sure, are we using all of our pieces effectively based on what they can do, not what they can't do. And then I think, the game's changed too. If you're going to invest in players, you better have a role for them, right? You better not be taking guys that don't have a skill set, right, that can produce this fall. And so I do think it is my responsibility to make sure within the package that they create, right, here are the tools that we need to make sure we have plans for, all right, and that we're using effectively because we recruited them based on the skill set. And so I think that's the big difference, but I'm not going to go in there and be like, hey, I want you to run this play, and that play. All right, I think it's more of, here are our pieces, here are tempos throughout games. Obviously that we're going to have to bleed the clock, right, play fast, all those type of things. But more importantly, are we using our pieces correctly and make sure we're using every piece that we have?
I guess sort of off that, I was curious now that you've had a chance to settle your staff. What's the difference between the roles of offensive coordinator and head coach of the offense? Kind of how did JDB and Joe Judge work together?
Yes, obviously, I think retaining Joe was really important for us for the development of the quarterback, but actually from the management standpoint too. There's so much in college football now with recruiting and retention, right, that actually designing plays, right, and focused on techniques has been lost, because you don't have time to be able to do it, right? You're meeting with guys before practice, you're meeting with guys after practice, right? And then the season ends, like you're meeting with your own guys. You can't even go on the road and recruit. So to me, like departmentalizing things, right, and delegating more things so guys can focus on what they do and they do really well. So the management of other things, right, I wanted Joe to be able to help do because he's been a head coach, right? So then the management of the people, right, the recruiting operation on that side of the ball, right, and all those type of things. So that way JDB can focus on the game plan, right, and on good plays and make sure we're using our pieces effectively, right, and then not have to worry about their quarterbacks as well. So I think it's really big when you hire people that are really good at a job, make sure they're doing that job. And I think what naturally happens in this profession as you start moving up, you get away from what you do really well, right? And you spread yourself so thin and try to manage so many different things that you're not great at, right? You end up not being good at anything. And so I think that's the biggest thing, and making sure we got management up top that can control, obviously, the people of it, right? And then we have retention people, and then we got scheme people, and then we have recruiting people. Does that make sense? At some point, they'll all be involved in it, right? And they get in one room and we talk and do all those things. But as far as what your job description is to make sure that we're making all our time efficiently, I think that's really important.
That was Pete Golding talking about a lot in a little bit of time.
Big butt. That's all I heard.
Interesting stuff there. We'll talk a little bit about that. And then I've got to keep uploading these pictures because Hadad wanted to play a game, and we're going to do that. Masters themed. I'm going to put a golfer on the screen, and Hadad is going to tell me who it is, who he played for in golf terms. But Farm Bureau guest line, check out favorites.com and go with the home team. Couple things that he said there that stood out to me we'll talk about, and then we'll start picking Hadad's brain when we return. Sports Talk Mississippi, Pearl River Resort Studio.
Your next customer is
Sports Talk Mississippi. To the junction, in the groove, and to the top. Sports Talk Mississippi on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Michael Borkey and Brian Hadad. So, a couple of things that stood out to me in Pete's press conference. Number one, the fear when you hire a new head coach, especially from one side of the ball, is that they'll meddle, right? I think it's fair to say that State fans, in their experience with promoting a defensive coordinator to head coach, didn't like the direction that they took the offense and how things were handled in that regard. It's just a press conference, but you do have to love what you hear from Pete Golding there. Now, I hired John David Baker. He's going to run the offense, and it's a similar, if not the same offense. Slight variances, but he's from the Kiffin tree. They run a similar offense, very explosive, very fast. And
very nice, very evil.
Went on a long answer there, but basically saying, I hired him to run the offense. He's going to run the offense. I'll be over here. We'll talk about personnel in terms of how we can allocate our resources, etc. But he's running the offense. He's over there. I'm going to let him do his thing. Offensive guys don't like when a defensive head coach tells them what to do. Defensive guys don't like when an offensive head coach tells them what to do. And to give Lane Kiffin credit, far be it for me to do that, I guess, but Lane Kiffin let Pete Golding run the defense.
By the way, are we going to address that Kiffin's pulling a Mullen?
In what way?
He won't say Ole Miss.
It's so weird, man.
The place we were before.
Yeah, the place we were before, and the quarterback, and it's because Hadad, he feels like Ole Miss should be erecting a statue of him right now. At least with Mullen,
he was just straight up like, I want to accentuate this rivalry, and so this is what we're going to do. This is just more Kiffin ridiculousness.
He's hurt. His feelings are hurt because Keith Carter made the correct decision to not let him coach the playoff.
There you go.
His feelings are hurt. He didn't get to glorify in the Sugar Bowl the way that Pete Golding and the rest of the team did. They wouldn't have won that game, but that's a conversation maybe for another day. So that stands out, though. That's a good, comforting sign. He's gonna run the offense. I'll be over here. He'll be over there. All good. Because that's how Lane did him. You're going to run the defense. I'm not going to meddle.
Right.
The other thing, Ant Davis, the linebacker, that's an interesting one. So the linebacker position with Farrelly and Thomas, starters are solidified. Centarian Perkins also going to have like that hybrid linebacker role. But I do wonder about depth at that position. They've got Hobson coming off of a redshirt, so he'll be a redshirt freshman. They got Taj Butler from Georgia Tech. I do think Ant Davis might be a guy that's going to play some for this team this year. They have really solid starters, not a lot of proven depth, and so to hear the true freshman putting on weight but also really flashing and impressing in practice is something that you need to have. I think they need depth at linebacker. They did well in the portal to get starters, but behind the starters is a lot of question marks. And he's the guy from Grayson, by the way, where Robert and Denzel Kimdichie went. But that's an encouraging thing to hear him not only gain weight, but come on and be a guy that's flashing at practice, because I think they need depth at linebacker. Everywhere else but offensive tackle, I think you should feel pretty good about depth there. Those are the two, and there's one for you.
There you go.
Anything else, or besides the right?
Big butts.
I like big butts, and I can't not lie.
There you go.
Can't believe that song was on the radio.
I mean, there were worse songs than that on the radio. So,
Jimmy says, I find it hard to believe Golding won't meddle with the offense. Ole Miss will win based on offense. Why do you?
There are lots of coaches that don't meddle.
There's a lot of coaches that don't meddle.
I mean, Mike Leach could have not have cared less what Zach Arnett was doing.
He didn't meddle at all.
Could not have cared an inch less.
I don't think Lebby's going to meddle. I think he'll let Arnett do his thing.
I don't think Arnett takes the job if he thought that Lebby would be heavy-handed.
Yeah. I don't think Brett Venables meddles.
You're probably right, yeah.
Kiffin's not going to meddle with Blake Baker. That's an LSU fan texting. He's not going to meddle. They've got a staff of almost 100.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Somebody says, I find it hard to believe Kiffin didn't meddle with the defense. Lane Kiffin, for better or for worse, hired staff to do jobs and didn't He's not a helicopter. Kind of hired people and they did their thing, and he's not a micromanager. Nick Saban had a hand in everything, and it worked because he was able to do that, right? Like, he was good enough to do that. Kiffin was not I'm at the facility 16 hours a day guy.
Right.
Guys, he didn't go to every meeting. He did a really good job at identifying and hiring staff and then letting them do their thing. And it worked. Obviously, it worked. He's very opposite Nick Saban in that way. Saban was involved in everything. Kiffin hired you, and you do your thing, and I'll be over here. Sometimes fishing, but I'll be over here sometimes too.
I'd be here more often than not.
Oh, man. Somebody says Brent Venables should probably medal.
I mean, it's not the worst idea in the world, as bad as they were offensively at times last year.
Still made the playoffs somehow. All right. This was Hadad's idea. I have, how many players do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 players for Brian Hadad. These are all participants in the Masters. No tricks. All these guys are in the field this year. I'll put his picture up on the screen, and Hadad's going to tell me who he is.
Okay.
All right. So who he play for? Masters
am I
edition.
allowed to bring up a list of guys that are in the Masters?
I think that's cheating.
So
I'm not tricking you very much.
Okay.
There's one that there's no way you're going to get, I think.
Okay.
But I'm not trying to trick you here.
Uh-huh.
These are mostly very popular household names.
Okay. All right. Let's do this then. I'm locked in. Here we go. First one. That's Scotty Scheffler.
That is Scotty Scheffler. I gave you a layup in the first one.
All right, yeah.
That is Scotty Scheffler.
I recognize him with that teardrop tattoo he has under his arm. Or is under his eye. Or where he was in the joint. He was in the clink, as Prison Mike would say.
All right.
All right, what we got next?
I referenced him earlier today.
Okay. Is this Tommy Fleetwood?
That is not Tommy Fleetwood.
I'll take one more.
He is not an American. I'll give you that hint. He's not an American.
Is that Danny Willett?
That is not Danny Willett.
All right, I don't know who.
I'll give you another hint.
Okay.
His last name is a plant.
The plant?
Is a plant.
Is a plant.
Mm-hmm.
That's Bob Carnation.
It's Justin Rose.
Justin Rose.
Who that is.
I didn't know. I don't know who that is.
Okay. So
right.
one and one right now.
One for one.
Not bad.
One for two.
Oh, whoops.
That's Pete Golding.
Whoops.
That was Pete Golding.
I got to switch screens.
2 for 3. I got it. I didn't know
right.
Pete Golding was in the Masters.
Okay, this one, I don't know if you're going to get this one or not.
Okay.
We'll see.
I'm excited.
He is a popular player, though.
All right. Give it to me. Is that Dustin Johnson?
That is a really good guess. That picture looks kind of like Dustin Johnson.
I thought I was right. Who is that?
It is not. No, I would give you some hints. See if you get there. He went to Cal.
That doesn't help me any.
He played in last year's Sanderson Farms Championship. He was the name that came to the Sanderson Farms Championship last year. He's the guy I was most excited about seeing.
Is that Cam Smith?
That is not Cam Smith.
All
that
right.
is Max Homa.
Max Homa. Okay, I was never going to get there. I thought it was Dustin Johnson.
He's a big Dodgers fan, so you and him would not get along.
We would not get along at all.
Okay.
He went to Cal. That's in Northern California. He should be a Giants fan.
He did go to Cal. All right.
What we got here? Looks like AI created the most normal golfer ever. Is that Jordan Thomas? Is that his name? Jordan? Is that his name? Justin Thomas.
Yes, you got it. That is Justin Thomas.
All right.
Very good.
Jordan Thomas played football at Mississippi State.
That you nailed that one,
All right,
man.
I did it.
That was impressive. The Alabama alum, big football guy, is Justin Thomas.
Guy. All right.
So we'll have to throw it to break and then come back and do the rest. So hey,
how many more do we have? How many more do we have?
How many more do we have? So 3. We have three more,
okay.
but you got Scotty,
I've gotten 2 out of 4.
2 out of 4, not bad.
Do we count Pete Golding? I got him too.
No.
Okay.
That does not count.
Okay. So when we come back, Borkey's got some more golfers for me to guess and see if I can figure out who they are. We're going to do this WrestleMania weekend. We're going to do this with wrestlers.
Wait. Yes, please.
I'm going to send you the pictures, and you'll that's what we're going to do. But we'll do that when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi.
From the Sports Talk Mississippi. Sports. On your radio and in the game. Super Talk Mississippi.
All right, so Brian Hadad decided he wanted to play a game of Who He Play For Masters Edition. I had 7 participants in the Masters this year. Just their pictures and their pictures only. I put them on the screen. Hadad tells me whether or not he knows who he is. I do give hints, and the hints count if he gets them. So far, he has gotten Scotty Scheffler and Justin Thomas. He has swung and missed on Max Homa and Justin Rose. So, 3 more to go.
Here we go.
One of them you're not going to get, but I have said his name a few times.
Okay.
And he is a recent winner on tour, but for right now, a former Masters champion.
Okay. Former Masters champion.
Won the Masters. He's also famous for something that happened at the Masters, of which he did not win.
Okay.
I actually made reference to it earlier in the show.
Is that the one where DeChambeau melted down?
It wasn't DeChambeau that melted down. It was this guy.
This is the guy that melted.
This is the guy that melted. I think it was a 5-shot lead standing on the 10th tee, if I remember correctly.
Okay. I need a hint.
He's from Texas. He's a big Longhorn.
Oh, I think I do know his name. Oh, give me one more hint.
Oh, gosh, what other hint could I give you without completely giving it away?
He and Jordan or Justin Thomas had like a little rivalry thing with Alabama, Texas.
And they're very good friends. Very, very, very good friends.
I don't know his name, though.
Jordan Spieth. That's who that is.
I combined Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas into a super golfer.
You did.
Jordan Spieth. I knew him. I did know it. I did know that. Dang it. I knew who that guy was.
All right, this one's going to be tough because he is an older gentleman.
I might have a better chance.
You probably are going to get this one.
I know the older guys a little bit better. That's Freddie Couples.
That's Fred Couples. Nailed it. I mean, right away.
One of my favorite golfers. I'm a big Freddie Couples guy.
If you are going to teach a young person the golf swing, if you have a young woman, a young girl that you're teaching the golf swing, Nelly Korda. Watch her videos. Have your daughter or whoever watch Nelly Korda. If you got a boy, Fred Couples. Don't watch Bryson. Don't watch Rory. Don't watch Scotty even because he does that weird foot thing. If you're teaching a young person how to play golf, that's the guy right there. Fred Couples, the smoothest swing in sports that involves swinging things. It is a work of art.
All right,
here's the last one. So you've gotten 3 of the 7.
3 of the 6. This is the 7th one right here. Right?
And this is the 7th one. And unfortunately, you're not going to get this one. I did say his name earlier. I have said his name before.
Okay.
His name starts with an A.
I have no idea.
That is Akshay Bhatia, is who that is.
Okay.
The young American, won earlier on tour, and he has the long putter, and people think that he is anchoring is what it's called. Hey, Dad, you're not allowed to have the long putter and like put it into your body to anchor it. but you can still use the long putter, but you're not allowed to press it up against your body. It's cheating. And he gets really, really close. And people think that he actually does it. He does not. But fun player.
I'm very excited to do this now in a couple weeks before WrestleMania to see how you do.
Yeah.
I've set the bar at 3 out of 7.
That's not bad, though.
No.
Not bad at all. Somebody says Artie Ellis has a smooth swing. Yes, that's another really, really, really good one. But I say Freddie more than Ernie because Ernie, big guy, physical guy, and had some power, although very smooth. Couples is just like butter. Just the pace, the
Which
tempo.
is the guy that I got of those 3 that you're most impressed by? It's got to be Couples, right?
I think Justin Thomas, to be honest with you.
I just picked him because he's, I knew that he existed more or less.
True, and he is a major champion, and his dad and my uncle are best friends.
Really?
Mm-hmm. My uncle's actually going to the Masters. Am I going to get anything for it? Nope.
Why can't your dad or can't your uncle hook you up with a trip every now and then?
Well, think about the volume of. He's got kids of his own. He's got sons-in-laws and
you
stuff.
should have worked harder to be the favorite nephew.
I should have. He lives all the way up in Charlotte, though.
I'm just saying, you should have been like calling every day, been like, "Hey, I just want to check in. How are you?"
You and him would get along great. He named his dog Barley.
It's my kind of gentleman right here.
He's just one of those guys. But dude, you did good though. I'm impressed by that. Actually,
I'm excited. I thought, I was wondering how I was going to do. I didn't want to make a fool of myself. I thought you might go really obscure too. I didn't know if you would go Scheffler and those guys. I thought you'd be like, who are somebody from Indonesia that's in the.
I wanted to give you a shot, though.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So, we had a text about this on the C Spire text line. If you want to look up Ole Miss, we can do that. But we got some lineups for Mississippi State. Aiden Till still out for the Bulldogs, so Bryce Chance will lead off and play center. Garrick Fry is the DH today and batting second. Don't forget Noah Sullivan not playing today. He was ejected from Saturday's game against Georgia and is ineligible to play in this game. So Fry's at DH. Ace Reese is batting third and playing third. I like this move. Jacob Parker is the cleanup hitter tonight, batting fourth and playing right field. Ryder Woodson is at shortstop. He'll bat fifth. Reed Stallman is the first baseman, batting sixth. Vitas Valencius is the left fielder. He'll bat seventh. Kevin Milewski is batting eighth and catching. And at second base with Fry at DH, Drew Wires gets the start. Good hitter for the Bulldogs. He'll bat ninth. And as we mentioned earlier in the show, Chris Billingsley Jr. is the starter for Mississippi State in this one.
For Ole Miss, I'm not surprised at what the lineup is. I will be surprised if these guys bat in the final inning of the game. Let's put it that way. Decker, Becerra, Unimark, Furness, Golden. I think you might just have a left fielder now in Cannon Golden. So getting the start. Pasella going to DH. Good to see him in the lineup. Pano going to start at short tonight. Foley going to catch. I'm a little surprised by that. They're not giving him a break, but he may just simply not need one. Federico in center, Gibson going to pitch. Again, I will be very surprised if all of these guys make it to the final inning of the game against Alcorn tonight. But I think Golden's just solidified that spot and left. I know they do the matchup thing sometimes, but I think he needs to be your everyday guy regardless of what arm is pitching. I think he just needs to be your guy. Pano getting some action is interesting. He came in and was productive in the ninth in that defining Game 3 last week. Mm-hmm. But there you go. There's Ole Miss's lineup ahead of the Alcorn game tonight.
In Hattiesburg, starting lineup for the Golden Eagles, Joey Urban will lead off and play center. Seth Smith, who I talked about with Coach Ostrander yesterday, batting second, playing shortstop. Kyle Morrison is at second, and he'll bat third. Davis Gillespie is the cleanup hitter in left field. Matthew Russo is the first baseman. He'll bat fifth. Ben Higdon is in right. He'll bat sixth. Dre Barrett is your third baseman, batting seventh. Tucker Stockman behind the plate. He'll bat eighth. And the DH is William Tonsmeyer. He'll bat ninth. Drake Meeks on the mound for Southern Mississippi.
There you go.
There you have it.
You going to the ballpark after the show?
No.
Just going to pull up the stream and watch with us peons.
The midweek games, it's not worth it.
You don't do reaction podcast for midweek games.
No, unless it was like a really big one. And even then, I gave when the USM game, which I would define as a big one, we had Future Brian kind of on hiatus for those. So, no, not so much.
I hear you. Yeah. I'm excited to watch, though. I mean, this team's got to bounce back. What I'm curious about with the state team, Hadad, is which one are they? Or maybe they are both. But are they the team that swept in Oxford, or are they the team that got swept by Georgia, or are they somewhere in between? And are the things that got them swept concerns, red flags, or is it just an off weekend?
I think they're more of the team that swept in Oxford. I think they're more of that team. They had a bad weekend last weekend. I don't think that's a trend. Now, I want to see what happens this week, really, because they play a good UAB team tonight. But if they have a 3-1 week, they're fine. They're back on track to do everything they want to do this year. I still think this is a really good team. When you look at the metrics, they are highly, highly in favor of Mississippi State being successful. I just think last weekend was a bad weekend. A lot of things went against you. Georgia took advantage of all of their opportunities, and you didn't take advantage of any. Georgia played really well, and you played really poorly, and that's what's going to happen. I think we see the real Mississippi State more this weekend.
Good stuff. Sports Talk Mississippi will wrap the show up with you next.
Your next customer is
Sports Talk Mississippi. Sports Talk Mississippi.
You know I love sports.
On Super Talk Mississippi.
You know how Greg Sankey, Tony Petit, the commissioner of the Big Ten, have been begging Congress to help save them? You guys know that they've been doing that for years, right?
We do know that.
Well, here is how Congress intends on saving college sports. There was a call. More than 30 university presidents from at least 6 of the conferences held a call Monday with a couple of senators, and they discussed the disparity in revenue among FBS conferences. The 2 senators authored a bill to open the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961 in an effort to give conferences the option to pool media rights, something the SEC and the Big Ten do not support. Because pooling media rights would mean that your schools get treated the same as the Sun Belt schools. I don't think the SEC wants that. And, I mean, let's be honest, Alabama's more valuable than Old Dominion. They don't even play the same sport. But I digress. Leagues represented on the call, mostly independent of their conference office, include the Big 12. A majority of the presidents of the Big 12 are on this call. Again, the Big 12 knows that they are not as valuable as the SEC and the Big 10. The ACC, about half of them, 2 Big 10 members, and about 10 from the Pac-12 American and the MAC. Nobody from the SEC was on this call. On the call, the senators sent a clear message. Legislation is unlikely to pass the Senate without addressing the growing revenue disparity among conferences. Whether through amending that act or another concept, they described the issue as, quote, urgent and hope for a solution by summer. Hey, Greg Sankey, when you ask for Congress's help, this is what Congress will do for you. They want to treat you the same way as the Conference USA or the MAC. This is what you get when you ask for their help. You're welcome. You're welcome. This is what you asked for, so you're welcome. You're not going to get your bill passed now unless you pretend like you're the same as the MAC.
Yeah.
Good job, guys. Good job.
Kind of interesting, right? Another example of the free market not being at work. The demand for SEC football and Big Ten football is greater than it is for the other conferences. So that's why it costs more, but that's not what we're going to do here.
There's a revenue disparity between the Cowboys and the Saints.
Yeah.
The Cowboys make more money by a lot than the Saints do.
And it's not that the money getting distributed by the league is different. It's the money that the Cowboys generate on their own.
Yep.
If the Cowboys were allowed to have their own network, their own TV deal, it would be infinitely more valuable than the Saints would be. So, just, whatever. My guess is none of this will go through. None of this will happen, and we'll just be right back to square one. And
it's almost like we've been saying that for years.
Yeah. And, it really does, and I don't like talking about this stuff that much, as you know, but it really does baffle me that there's only one solution, guys. There's only one. You've got to make them employees. You just don't have any choice in the matter. It's the only way to get the things under control that you want under control. You want a salary cap. You want to be able to limit transfers in some way. You've got to make the players employees. And if you don't do that, then we're just going to stay here in this space, which, as a fan of the sport, I think that the sport itself, the games itself, have never been better, right? And it's coming to you as a guy who's a fan of a team that has not done well these last 3 years. But I can't deny the sport of college football is more popular, and the games are of a higher quality, and there are more teams involved in the championship process than ever before. And my team could get there with the right moves in personnel. But we're going to stay here until somebody just wakes up one day and goes, all right, we just don't have any choice. This is what we have to do.
And they are having some of those conversations behind the scenes. My guess would be this will only ignite those even more.
Yeah.
Enjoy your baseball tonight, guys. It's a loaded slate in terms of number of games anyway. Not so many marquee matchups, but there's some out there. We will talk about those with you tomorrow at Scruggs in Saltillo / Tupelo. Come by and see us. We'll be there from 3 to 7, or at least Hadad will be.
I'll be there from 3 to 6.
But I'll be there from 3 to 6. Come by and see us. Come say hello. Come check out the John Deere tractors that they've got. They've got literally everything if you need it in the house.
They have what you want for less.
100%. And come
it's
see
not
us.
Just a slogan.
We would love to see you. We'll
will
check in with you tomorrow.
We will see y'all tomorrow.
Y'all have a good night. Enjoy your baseball. We'll talk to you then.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.